Hello, welcome back to the InaneBrains podcast. I'm your host, Lance, with my co-host, Jena. Say what's good, Jena.
I'm here.
Before we begin, make sure to follow us on Instagram at InaneBrains, InaneBrains on Instagram and Twitter. Forgot about Twitter. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. All right. We can jump into this. We're coming straight off the last episode. After that depressing shit.
A deep episode.
Very deep episode.
A serious moment.
Indeed. What did you like to talk about since you wanted to say something?
So based off of the last episode, I was thinking about we
like, doing two creeps in a row?
Sort of. No, not really. But it's more or less like when I asked you, like, well, what can, like, people do, like, at all type of thing? And then you said riot. And I immediately thought about protests and, like, my opinion on them, essentially. So,
okay.
How do you feel about protests? Do you feel like they're effective?
Honestly, I don't think so.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. But you explain why, and I'll, come up behind.
I mean, you're informing everybody. Y'all group up in a crowd, informing everybody. Boom. Then what? Bro? Like, yeah.
I don't know what you're hoping is to happen. Okay, for me personally, I don't know.
I want chaos and destruction.
Yes. Anarchy.
Anarchy.
Through the streets.
Do something instead of BLM.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop it. Don't hurt the black people.
Yeah, stop it.
Fight for your right.
But how do you do that?
Physically.
Oh.
Beat them up.
Violence.
Violence.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, bro. I mean, like, I think so anyway. Fight for your right. Fight for your justice. Become Batman. That's all I'm telling you.
Batman.
Make sure your parents get shot in an alleyway and become Batman.
Okay. There was a real life Batman. There was a guy that dressed up in costume and he would actually go out and stop crime.
I've seen that. I've seen that guy.
I forgot his name, but yeah,
I've seen a guy on TikTok
suffer from broken bones and bruises and shit, and he
was
he was doing work clearly. I don't know how effective the percentage is working to stop crime per se, but he's stopping things.
Right.
The Batman way.
Yeah. He's doing something about it.
But I don't know. In my opinion, protests, I don't know. They seem very savage. I don't know.
They feel extra to me.
They feel primal. Like, this is not gonna help. I don't know. That's the immediate idea is this is not going to help.
Yeah, I know. It feels kind of extra.
It feels like if you really care, there's a more civilized way to handle it, by writing to a congressman or something like that.
Yeah, but then it's government...
Yeah, I know that it's kind of a long shot thing where it's well, they probably won't respond or not care.
Overthrow the government!
Yeah, then you could also say I'll run myself, but it's no one wants to do that type of shit.
Overthrow the government. Do it you know what? I'm kind of... This is going to be very controversial. Remember when they raided the fucking Capitol?
Oh, Lord.
That was kind of dope.
Damn. This is a black man.
That was kind of dope when they raided the Capitol.
That was silly, dude. That was straight up silly. I was watching this, it's this is crazy.
Yeah, they did something about it.
I guess.
Cool, do it again.
10 times illegal but anyway.
I want this place to turn into fucking Last of Us.
Shit, wow. Glad to know, Lance, that you want our society to crumble.
Yes.
With fungus.
Yeah, just crumble. I really
Minus
don't want
the fungus.
I really don't want the cordyceps. Those guys suck.
Yeah, well.
But I don't know. I feel like something more proactive should be done, but I cannot think of it at the top of my head because I have more pressing matters.
Yeah, me as well. I'm trying to live my life. I don't have time to fix the world.
Right.
But also it's just if I really cared about something, I would probably look into it deeper, know? If you have a problem at school, let's say, I'm not saying I'm ripping from my life story here, but let's say there's a teacher that treats you like shit.
Beat his ass.
Okay, so the thing is you could just walk in one day, probably get arrested for beating his ass, or you could just protest, the classic protests vegans do and whatever. But the direct course of action that will definitely threaten their job and also secure your fate as a good student is go to the dean of students and file a complaints report, essentially.
Okay, what if they don't do anything about it?
Well, then you go to the next level up. That's just kind of how system works. If you don't like fucking. If it doesn't work to go to the dean of students, you go to the vice principal of the school, and if that doesn't work, then you have to go to the district, etc., etc., etc.
Before I would do any of that, I would press dude like, hey, like, my dad always taught me, like, instead of running from your problems, run to them. So if a motherfucker is, like, you know, avidly trying to antagonize me and like mess with me, I'm gonna run up on him and be like, hey motherfucker, like, what are you doing? Obviously you could be more professional than that, like, hey,
excuse me.
Excuse me, like, yo, I'm doing all this work, yada yada yada, and you're persecuting me for it.
I'll just
what
say
is the
it
deal?
Because like I was dealing with that like a.
Oh really? I wouldn't have known.
Oh, really?
Because you said it wasn't based off your personal experience.
Yeah, I said definitely not.
But you just said, so it was based off personal experience? What?
Yeah. But this teacher is an online only teacher, fellas. So there's not really, you can't really fucking beat him up because, you know, he's an online virus. No. But
I'm pretty sure their fucking email address is pretty public, and you could probably
basically that's what I did. So
find his home address.
I technically threatened him, but in like a you know,
that reminds me
professional way.
That reminds me of literally the movie I just watched last night. Have you ever seen Dope?
No.
Okay, so Dope is it came out literally almost 10 years ago at this point, which is insane. It's the same the voice actor as Miles Morales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think this was probably one of his like starting like acting careers. But basically, it's about these 3 high school students where they're kind of like geeky nerds. They go around school doing yada yada yada.
Oh, you okay? Well,
no, for real. And they somehow get mixed up in drugs because one of this like hood motherfucker like put like not cocaine. It was Molly in his bag when they went to like a bar. Like the kids somehow got into the bar and there was a shootout that happened and over drugs, and he put drugs in this kid's bag, and you know he's trying his way. Hold on. Sorry, I had coffee. Her mother offered me coffee, and I cannot.
He can't refuse anything.
Nope.
Ever.
Especially from your mother. She's too nice.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so they somehow get mixed up into selling these drugs because they have to get rid of it somehow.
Yeah.
And so what this kid does at the end, it's pretty much a spoiler, I guess, but I'd rather you watch it because I think the reveal is better. But
alrighty.
He basically just spun it back on him and threatened him like, hey, I set it up all to make sure that you lose, like with all this geeky shit.
Damn,
and it's actually really good because how they set it up in the beginning, they made these kids out to be so stupid with these drugs, and it felt so like they just made them to be out really dumb.
Jesus.
Like, oh my god, there's drugs in my bag.
God.
What do I do?
How did they get there? Maybe I should take them out.
Yeah, it was just really dumb how they went about it, but at the end, it was a cool reveal.
I see.
So I would recommend anyone to watch it, and just reminded me of that. So sorry to throw you off again.
I see.
But continue.
But yeah, well, what I threatened basically is like, well, listen.
No, listen here, buddy.
Listen here.
Offer.
Here's my offer.
Here's my offer.
Take it or leave it. No, yeah. I just said like, well, because, I don't know, they're just being unreasonable is really their crime here, I would say. Unreasonable to the extent of like, well, it seems like a nuisance just to contact them, really. Most teachers...
Fuck them.
Yeah, I know. Most teachers always say like, oh, email me if you have any more questions or whatever.
Right.
It's like, thanks for
Flood
contacting
his inbox.
me type of shit. And then with them, it's just like, well, did you fucking look at the rubric and did you look at this? And I said, well, that shit's locked. And he's like, maybe you should take another class. Like, straight up. Maybe you should take an in-person class or something. And then it's like, well, listen here, buddy.
Well, listen here, Buster.
Listen here, buddy. I turned this assignment in and you had time to tell me that it was blank. Because, like, I accidentally submitted the wrong one. But, like, since I submitted it early, what teachers normally do, if they're not lazy, is look at it and say, like, hey, this is blank. Was this on purpose? And I was like, oh, no, I have the real one right here.
Right.
Problem solved right before the due date.
Right.
But he waited till after the due date to, actually look and whatever. And he says, "This is blank. Are you sure you don't need an in-person class?" And I said, "Well, do you teach an in-person class?" He said, "No, 3 other teachers do. And so you're telling me to fuck off," is what I'm getting from this, basically.
All because you accidentally turned in a blank thing.
Yeah, and I said, "Listen,
accident.
I turned this in early. You had time to tell me if it was blank or not."
Hold them fuckers accountable.
Yeah, I said that, and I said, "Well, I have it here if you still want it, like, to grade it. Mm-hmm. But, like, if I want my answers... I want my questions answered on time about assignments so I can do them properly, I'm going to the dean of students."
Raw.
I'm just going to the dean of students.
Raw.
And then they're all like, "Okay, fine," and they gave me half credit on the assignment.
Wow.
But, well, it's a smart play, though, because now I can't really complain, because they graded my shit. You know what I mean? If he had done nothing, and then, like, when I was talking to friends about it, they basically said,
God. Oh my gosh. Her boyfriend's calling her again. Can he tell that we're recording?
No, I didn't tell him. Why don't you, pander?
Uh-oh. Now she has to, oh God. Should we cut? Cut it out. Me? I don't know what to do for a slight transition. Cut it out. Alright, we're back, folks. Sorry for the inconvenience. Very important calls had to be made. We had to talk to our manager about...
Yeah, our managers, our schedules, our assistants.
Absolutely.
Things about lunch being pushed back and whatever. We suffer for you.
Yes, absolutely. We had to tell them that the working hours, instead of 16, were now 20 working hours a day. And
we're now subtracting the lunchtime. Yes. Instead of 10 minutes, it's 5 minutes break.
Absolutely. And we're now, docking people's pay.
Significantly,
so we can hoard all the money.
Yeah, you see, we're in need of a new microphone, and that's really important.
Indeed, we're in need of a new everything.
Everything, and so it's coming out of their paychecks.
Absolutely. See, I'm glad we're on the same page as CEOs.
This is how you run a business. Maybe a next episode it'll be how to run a business by InaneBrains. Maybe we'll write a book.
Yeah, it'd be like a fucking make money
Stomp on people to get ahead is step 1.
Right. It's like a book on like how to make money so they can make money off the book. Yes. Like some fucking scheme.
And here's the number 1 strat, guys. I'm going to give it away right here as a little preview. So
right. Beat the shit out of your employees. Like Sean Combs did. I'm sorry.
I'm putting it on number 5. What you do is kidnap your friend.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Then have the police, you have some demands. Right. I want money.
Absolutely.
They give you the money.
Mm-hmm.
You...
Oh my God, that reminded me of something. Go ahead.
You hide the money.
Mm-hmm.
You get arrested. Yep. Go to jail.
Okay. I don't know
your
where
friend,
this is going.
Your friend makes a book about the experience.
Okay.
Gets more money. Bails you out. And now you're both rich.
The only issue is that now you're going to have like a prison or like a on your record is going to say that you went to prison.
You could hire a third party, I suppose, someone who's already been to prison and is like...
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, someone like that.
Personally, I don't want to go to prison, and I don't want that on my record, but...
Okay, well, yeah.
That's just me personally. Well, I don't want to get my ass...
You'd be going to a men's prison.
Exactly. I don't want to get my... my booty!
You can't have my booty!
You can't have my booty!
No.
Boondocks
We
reference.
can hire a third party and you know what? Oh, then we could co-sign the book.
Absolutely, yeah.
We could both be hostages. The third person goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
We hide the money.
That makes sense.
That he demands, the third party.
You definitely did not make this up, did you? This is...
No, I've thought about this really long time. For some preference, I looked at him with the most serious face, like I have, and then I used the normal voice and said, "Yeah."
Are you dead ass? You actually thought of this before?
I've thought about it for a while.
Oh my God!
I've been thinking because when someone asked me, it's like, "What's the ultimate get rich quick scheme?" and I really thought into it. And I was like, well, this is how you get more money out of it.
She out here like the thinker, like.
That's basic. Yeah, I was like, so what gets you a lot of money? He's like, well, if you rob a bank or if you demand money or something.
You're so fucking stupid.
Dude, we could do going in style level of planning.
You're so dumb.
Come on, I'm Alfred. What's his name? Michael Caine. I think. Yeah. I'll be Michael Caine. Our third party will be that old guy that gets with the old woman. And then you could be Morgan Freeman.
Because I'm black?
Yeah. But come on, who doesn't like Morgan Freeman?
That's true. I can't do his voice, though.
That's true.
No one can do his voice but him.
Yeah, no, well, that era... What is that era? It's like, I think some 2000s, but like, you know Bruce Almighty, the movie with Jim Carrey? That movie did so well, and I think it's just because Morgan Freeman's in it as well. Because, like, that era, Morgan Freeman was in everything. Yeah. So people were just, like, flooding to watch it. Yeah. Bruce Almighty is Jim Carrey's most highest grossing film. Yeah. So it's, like, it's probably
because Morgan it's Freeman. Fucking, yeah, that, and it's fucking funny.
It is. It's about God or whatever. I'm God now. Yeah.
That shit is hilarious.
I had never seen, like, all of it until, like, a few weeks ago. Or, I guess a month ago or so.
I've never seen Boys in the Hood until a couple, like, last weekend. And that has, I ain't gonna say
Then again, I haven't seen a lot of things, though.
You should watch Boys in the Hood. That shit is crazy. Because that's exactly how it was back in the day. Like, gang shit, them selling...
You should watch, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, the musical.
Oh my god.
What? Have you heard of it?
No.
It's really good.
See, I know about, like, real shit that's happened in the world. This motherfucker knows about musicals.
Yeah. Well, this is an old one. This is Andrew Lloyd Webber, the same person that made Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I love Phantom of the Opera when I sang it in choir.
It's a good song.
No,
but
fuck it's
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's just a Bible story, but they made it a musical, and each song is, like, from a different era. So there's, like, disco, there's, like, a country song, and, like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
A disco about the Old Testament?
Kinda, yeah. Or it's about Genesis,
Eve ate the apple.
I would watch a full version, but this specific musical is just about Joseph's story, which is a section of Genesis. But
God,
like all of Genesis would be crazy.
God kicked them out in the garden of Eden.
Eve had an option. Eve had an option to just get W's, but she chose a world with L's and W's.
That's the modern Bible, right?
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense.
That's the worst part. Is like,
it makes sense.
I understood.
We understood. And like, oh no!
I hate modern. For those who don't know, what is it, like a Reddit post or like a?
No, it's an actual book. I thought the guy's reading.
There's like a guy. There's like a YouTube video of the guy.
The Modern Bible, yeah.
Yeah, this guy reading this thing called the Modern Bible, where it's the Bible, but instead they use modern terminology.
Gen Z language.
Yeah, Gen Z language, and it's so fucking cringe, but
it makes
it actually I understood the Bible a lot more.
Yeah, and then they just introduced the Satan, and they say like one day the ops of ops rose and chose violence or whatever. The ops of ops rose and chose violence.
Do you think God would be mad at that?
No. I don't think so. He's like, well, it's just another way to tell it.
Or like, another way for people to understand.
Because, like, if anyone makes up a language and then they use to, translate it's like, he doesn't get mad at, like, Chinese people for, like, translating the Bible.
The Bible is translated from, like...
From other stuff. So it's,
Hebrew.
Like, translated even further. Go to Chinese to,
It is translated from Hebrew
to English. Yeah. And then to Chinese. And then
to
whatever.
And then to Gen Z slang.
Let's be honest, though. Haven't you put, like, something in, like, a translator and then, like, went to a bunch of different languages? And when you go back to English, it doesn't translate well at all.
Right. I mean, that's, yeah. So,
So he could mean something else for all we know, really.
Yeah, man.
Maybe he did mean the L. With the ops of ops.
So one of the things in the Bible says that, like, if two or more are talking about my name, then I am there in the presence, right? Something like that whenever you're praying. So I would like to think in this scenario, like, someone's reading the Bible with, like, another person, like a dad, like, let's just say for me, for example, I'm reading the Modern Bible with my dad, and then
like,
God is here, just, like, in the corner, like, reading too, like, these guys spitting.
Yes.
I mean, as long as he understands what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, I don't know, perception of God. Because, like, for all you know, it's like, well, you go up and he's like, did you really mean for us to say Skibidi? And then he's like,
well, no.
He's like, well, technically, I created Skibidi.
Like, well, no, I did not mean that. But if it helped you understand what I'm saying, then whatever works.
Yeah, it's whatever works, you know. People speak their own thing.
That's funny. That's interesting.
I created Skibidi. I am Skibidi.
Yes, without me, there would be no Skibidi Toilet.
Write that in the end of it. Without him, there'd be no Skibidi.
Which is technically true.
That's what I mean.
If you're a Christian, without him, you... How does one even come up with that idea of fucking Skibidi Toilet, bro?
I don't know. It's
Dude. Okay. I remember a couple weeks ago, my mom came up to me and asked me, my mother works at a gym, so she, is around like a bunch of different type of people. One of them is like a guy my age. His name's Marvin. Shout out to Marvin, and he's a cool dude, really cool dude. He talks not really, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
He just talks a lot.
Okay.
But talks about, stuff he's passionate about, which is fine, which is cool, which is great. One thing he recently got into is Skibidi Toilet.
Oh.
So he's sitting here talking to my mom about it and like showing her videos, and then she comes up to me. She's like, bro, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what is what? What is Skibidi Toilet? And that's like, it's one of those things where, like, whenever your parent finds out about, like, modern shit, and so you have to, like, explain it to them, I'm like,
what's hilarious?
My God.
I'm about to, like, expose someone right now. Like, we were on an Xbox chat, and then Santiago, we were saying stuff. Our mutual friend. We were saying stuff, like, we were mentioning a bunch of things, and then, we started talking about a certain subject, and then he says, like, what is a shiesty mask?
Oh, my God.
And we were like...
Dude.
Oh, Dad, I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, sorry, Grandpa. I meant to describe this to you.
I mean, that's not really, like, bad.
I know, but it's, like, it's still funny.
Yeah, no, like, just trying to explain, like, modern culture.
Something that's, like, you don't really feel like you have to or don't want to, when it's just, like, what is this? And it's like, okay, well.
Yeah, and so I'm, like, trying to explain to her. Like, I have never watched it. I've never watched it, but I understand... The concept, it's like, a bunch of fast, explosive clips doing yada, 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 YouTube poops, shit like that, like a bunch of shit just happening. And she's like, bro, this guy goes on a rant on the lore about Skibidi Toilet. There's like 50 million videos. So I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's like 1 minute videos, but there's like 60 or 70 of them, just random bullshit that's happening. So it's like explaining modern terminology to an old head, which is fine, not calling my mother an old head, but it's just funny, trying to bridge that age gap. So I thought that was funny. She asked me that shit a couple weeks ago, which is like, and that thing too, where you would never expect this person to know what this is about. Yeah. Because they're not even around like that, like interested at all. And like, it's my mom, you know.
Did you feel that way when like Juice WRLD came on my radio? Or like, has there been something about me that shocked you? He's like, what, you do this, or you listen to this, or what?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't think so, since we're, the same age, so we're around the same culture. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, the
only thing left to do, like, to shock ourselves, I guess, would just be the difference in like racial culture stuff. I guess, where it's like, oh, you know who this Asian actor is? I'm impressed. That would be something that's like.
Also, it's like we live in a predominantly Asian community. That like, I'm not totally oblivious of things. Like, I watch anime, bro.
Say Happy New Year.
What do you mean, like
in Chinese? No.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm not that like into the space, but I'm like,
you won't get no money for Lunar New Year.
Oh fuck!
Uh-huh.
Did I ever get a red envelope? I think I did. Did I?
This, yeah.
Did I ever get a red envelope before like that? Cause
Well, I'll let you know now. Only married couples can give you red envelopes. So if there's like a married couple that's Asian, right? Like, here you go.
I think I was around.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. I was around because one of my childhood friends. We grew up with each other because our parents knew each other, whatever. And why are you throwing shit at me? Stop! I want no fucking spider. He's half black, half Asian, and
he's Blasian.
Yeah, cool. I love that guy. That's like my brother to me. So I remember one time they had a party. I think it was probably like a lunar year party, and I just happened to be there. And they're all like exchanging the envelopes, and I kind of knew what was going on. Like that was like the culture and all that. I was around it, so I kind of understood it. But I also wanted one of those envelopes. They're really cool because it's like golden red.
I mean, they're nice, but we end up throwing them away.
I mean, I understand. Like it's a fucking envelope.
Also, like specific family. Well, they at least my family, they work really hard to make sure there's no repeats. So each family has a unique envelope.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So my aunt is a really big fan of like, I guess like Peanuts, you know, like Snoopy and Charlie Brown. So they have like a Charlie Brown red envelope.
I didn't even know they were themed like.
Yeah, they have themes.
Like that outside.
They have special like, I don't know, they have characters on them sometimes.
I thought it was like traditionally Asian things like fucking.
I mean, sometimes it says like "You're the Dragon" or.
That's what I thought. Like, year. Yeah, I mean, like that's what I think. Not like fucking Garfield on the fucking.
Here, have a Garfield.
Right.
Well, Asian people like their themes. You know,
no, I didn't know that.
They could have Hello Kitty on them. You know, that's a very popular one.
Well, I would think that I wouldn't be surprised.
Japanese,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised rather.
Also, Japanese Lunar New Year is different. I'm pretty sure theirs is earlier,
right.
And they have way different traditions. But like the envelope giving is something that it's still
right. Yeah. But I would. See, I'm learning shit right now, guys. Yes. I didn't know that you can have fucking Ben 10 on your fucking envelope.
I mean, you could, yeah. If you're married and you and your spouse agrees, like, will be our envelopes this year. Yeah.
All right, what's our theme this time? Motherfucking SpongeBob? Like, you got it.
Yeah. Gong Hei Fat Choi. Happy New Year.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, you heard it before,
I heard it. That's in the back of my head. But obviously, I don't celebrate it, so it's not like at the forefront of my memory. So
they make us say, what do you say?
What the fuck do you like holding your body? What do you say, motherfucker?
What do you say?
That's right. Now have your money.
Thank you. And then you're like, this family don't like me very much. They gave me $5 only.
Yeah, I know. Like I've heard like some crazy shit that motherfuckers.
They gave me pesos.
This guy gave me a nickel. What the fuck?
Yeah. You must hate me. And then
I've also heard some like crazy shit. Like I seen some online. I think someone like gifted like 10,000.
You could.
That's insane.
It could be any amount. It's just,
No, I mean, if you have the money to give out like that, sure. Go off. I mean, bless your family.
There are rich Asians. A crazy rich Asian.
Crazy the movie.
I'm all of that except the rich.
Crazy Asian. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty. Asian. That's pretty just apt of your entire visit. Why are you sniffing yourself? Are you that rank? I
think this is dirty. Yeah.
Are you that rank, bro? Just. That's the entire fucking room. It just smells like just straight BO.
A barge.
Her and this fucking slide whistle, bro.
I bought it for a reason and I'm not gonna fucking use it, then what's the point?
You don't have to use it for the episode. You're not even good with it anyway. That's the worst part.
It's cheap, but I bought it anyway.
Cheap ass.
I have other instruments, okay?
Oh, great. Here she goes on her instrument rant.
I have a harmonica, tambourine, accordion. I used to have a violin, and then, yeah.
And then don't get into her other baskets.
Piano.
Oh,
And then I used to do card magic, and then I used to do Rubik's Cubes, and then,
And then she has one basket exclusively for the very promiscuous things.
Yeah. What else is in there? I don't know. Magnets?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Cool. What's in the secret stash?
Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Nothing of importance. I have a gun.
And of course you should stick it at the black guy. This thing, okay, for those who don't know, it's she has like this toy pixel gun. It's like this pixelated gun. Oh my gosh, I fucking love fidget spinners.
Here you go. They were banned for a long time.
Yeah. For you children that don't know, back in
for the autisms, I guess. But
I wouldn't say the autisms. But...
kind of, yeah. It was supposed to be used.
Okay,
to
okay.
focus,
I'm gonna say something very controversial.
What is it?
This is coming from a guy who's very close to someone with autism. I think I've shared it before.
Yes.
But I think that this modern terminology of people saying they're fucking autistic when they really mean they're just like ADHD or whatever,
yeah,
like
you're misdiagnosed.
that's just dumb. Like, stop. Just instead say like, oh, I have a fucking short attention span, and saying, oh no, I'm just autistic.
Okay.
As fuck. I'm like, bro, you just have a short attention span. That's fine. That's so much different from autism. That's the only thing that's like I rarely get triggered at anything, but that's the one that slightly turned me into a Karen right there. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, just say that you're just fucking ADHD deprived or
me, I have
autism. Yeah, sure.
Autism.
But yeah, she has a fidget spinner. Back in 2017, the era of the fidget spinner. Why do you have 3?
I found these on the floor.
I have a story about a fidget spinner. So one time, oh my god, I'm thinking about it. It's so fucked. One time, I don't really like this one.
That one's funky looking.
Yeah,
I found that one someplace.
I just like this one because I just do this because I can.
These ones are a little annoying, but they're the classic ones, right? They have color. They have these circles on the ball bearings.
Yeah. So one time in PE class, I'm messing with this my homie named Nathan, and he dropped this $10 bill, and so I took it, and he was.
You're black. No.
Yeah. This is probably the only bad thing I ever did, and I felt like shit afterwards. I took it, and he go, "You got my $10 bill?" And I go, "No," but it's clearly obvious that I took his $10 bill. So what I did was I bought a fidget spinner with it at the ice cream truck.
Okay.
And the next day I felt like shit afterwards. I was like,
"Here, you could have this."
This
is what I used your $10 on.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is what? This is shit." I was gonna use that for food.
Right. He didn't like overtly like get mad at me because it was like at the end of PE, so I just like left. So like I bought it. Here's what I bought with it. Goodbye.
This is what I spent my stolen money on.
Here you go. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Asshole. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see where my like money went? He's like,
but he knew obviously, like, bro, give me my. He was for real telling me. I was like, give me back my give me my $10 back, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Oh, and then afterwards, I felt. So if Nathan, if you're ever seeing this episode,
you want a fidget spinner?
No, I was gonna say I'll pay you back your $10.
Pay him back with a fidget spinner.
I'll pay him back with a fucking jumbo. I'll pay him back with a
jumbo.
I'll pay him back with a real expensive one.
Yeah, here you go. Remember?
Yeah,
when I robbed you?
Remember when I stole your $10 and I bought a fidget spinner?
Remember when I fucking robbed you?
Yeah, here's a cooler fidget spinner.
This one's for you though, not for me.
Not for me, because I don't want it, even though I secretly bought it for me. But you can have it.
I used your money to buy a Tesla. I used your money to buy all this shit. Yeah, I was like, well, thanks.
Yeah, I stole money out of your bank account to buy a Tesla. Here you go.
I bought a lottery ticket and I got rich. He's like, great, you're going to pay me back? I don't got no change.
I sold all of it.
Bye.
I sold all of it to buy $1 million home.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I think that's the close. Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated.
I hope you guys like listening to fidget spinners.
Yes, bro. I mean, fidget spinner ASMR. Oh, sorry.
Fucking whacked me.
Fidget spinner ASMR. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at InaneBrains, InaneBrains. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like and comment. What should they comment, Jenna?
What's your favorite fidget toy?
I fucking knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, comment what's your favorite fidget toy if you're from the era of all that fidget shit.
I'm not autistic or I don't have ADHD. I'm just stupid.
Yeah, these are actually really nice.
I know, right? These are crazy. Well, you can have one actually, because I don't.
No, I have one at home actually. I have one at home. It just doesn't have the
a little bit.
Yeah, this because you can pull these apart, the little caps. My favorite thing was, have you ever seen those fidget dice?
Oh,
Those little dice with all like the buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
But my favorite part.
All the dice, yeah.
Yeah, but my favorite part, it was like the little light switch click.
The click, yeah.
I fucking love that.
That's fun.
And then they had the ball too. I like the weird ball on it.
Wow.
Any final words though, Jenna? Fidget spinner ASMR. Wait.
My favorite part of InaneBrains is when they fidget for an hour.
Yeah, when they play fidget spinners for 5 minutes. I was gonna do the. Have you seen those TikTok lives where they had the loud ass mic and they just like. Oh.
The one with the cheese grater and he's like.
Yeah. I'm curious if that picked up. Hopefully it did. Ah.